signs up and uses a dispatch platform app, that app already has GPS integrated to the point that a driver, every time they do a job, they are pinged by GPS to pinpoint where they accepted the job, where they traveled to the job, and where they completed the job. So you could track the exact GPS movements of every vehicle and every job if TCD collected the data from dispatch companies. None of this is going to happen with rideshare. It's already happening. But TCD don't collect data or enforce it.
Well, I know.
Nor do they regulate it, because they do not have any laws or rules or policy for dispatch platforms or software.
Gotcha. So I know, traveling abroad, I don't have Uber, but it is a Uber type thing. What the heck is it called? It's
Lyft.
I got Lyft, Lyft. Right? And that thing is awesome, boy. Yeah. I stand up at a mall, I call, I see that damn vehicle moving. Right on my phone.
So that's what Journey does.
That's what Journey does. Ah, okay. So there's competition coming that is hopefully going to improve and give better options to the end line user, which is the passenger. Because the challenge that the transport department has had over the years has been with the service not being available when there's high demand. And from what I've understood, the new augmented or additional option with respect to rideshare is to provide an option that fills a loophole when there is no taxis available in the height of the season. So now you guys are saying, we get it, but we think the better option is to issue another 150 temporary permits. And then I had the question for Mr. Broadbelt, which he might want to respond to. Well, if it were me and I was entrepreneurially minded and I knew there's 150 new permits going to be online for about 7 months in the height of the season to ease the lift, then I might say, you know what? I don't want to pay X amount of $1,000 for a full permit. I want to pay the same for one of the 150 permits that the guy that earns the full permit will also pay. Why am I going to be locked out if I can also have, in a free enterprise system, a desire or aspiration to be a taxi owner at my convenience based on what I can afford to invest?
I'm sure that would have happened.
Because the 150 permits is an investment, but it's less than the full permit. But what you guys would do would be lock out the opportunity for an entrepreneurial-minded individual that might have the funds to afford a lower-cost permit and compete.
Remember, that was just in the round table
discussion?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So these were things that were being explored.
Correct.
And then you could have had a full conversation and decided on, okay, how do we do this? Okay, maybe we take 75 cars or permits, give to the taxi industry, and 75 for anyone that might want to get into the industry.
Right. Because we do have the situation where, of course, Royal Naval Dockyard.
Yeah.
We got mega ships.
Yes.
You're looking at 10,000 people.
Major challenge.
So how do you service 10,000 people?
One way in, one way out.
That's right. And then
unless you're on the water.
Right.
Exactly. So when you have, like
airport.
this morning, 2 accidents in the same area.
Oh, my goodness.
You're locked.
Unless you swim really fast.
Yep. And your response time to get back to service your customers and to make sure that they get back to the ship on time before the ship leaves.
Yeah.
You're blocked.
Yeah, but these are one-off anomalies that will happen from time to time, but it's not going to be at such a frequent, level that would raise an incredible amount of concern. But when it does happen, if it's 200 people that can't get on that ship, that's a problem. But under the circumstances, those are things beyond anyone's control. If someone has an accident and the whole road is blocked, that happens everywhere in the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you have to remember, you got this 10,000 people on the ship, and then you got how many people coming into the airport at the same time. Then our locals is going to work and knocking off. Everything's happening.
So that's why anything that helps, I thought, would be, in a responsible way, appreciated so that Bermuda and its reputation is protected by way of transportation services that are designed to get the public from A to Z and around. Yeah.
But in a taxi, not in a private car that any Joe Blue's gonna drive.
But how do you answer this question then? If that didn't happen, there would still be gypsy cabs, so you still got the same problem.
And,
and that's been going on for years.
And they're still not
it's
going to
illegal.
It's illegal. And so Mr. Broadbelt made the point that there is a lot of laws on the books applicable to public transportation that is not being enforced.
Correct.
I get that.
Okay,
Correct.
Randy.
Go, Randy.
So just to circle back to the statement of entrepreneurial persons getting into the industry. So in a nutshell, this sounds beautiful for a government right now that is saying that is looking to increase employment on the island and increase the jobs pool. Here's the downfall in the real data of what's being said. 150 permits. So the idea that they're trying to tout is 150 people could gainfully become employed through this system as either independent contractors, self-employed personnel, subcontractors, or as a limited liability company. Nobody has clearly said what these individuals are going to be counted as in the employment structure, but we're going to put that on one side. 150 permits, but the requirement is to be a public service vehicle operator. Do you know how many public service vehicle license holders it is in Bermuda?
Not total, but when you're talking about that, you're talking about buses, taxis, ferries, all of it?
Remember, every public service vehicle license holder can operate any public service vehicle in that class on ground transport. Right. So if you have a
minibus,
drive PTB bus, you can drive a minibus, a limo, a taxi, a AT. So from the comments in the House of Assembly, the minister said he sent out over 3,000 letters to registered public service vehicle license holder. So that means there are already 3,000 people with public service vehicle license that will more than likely attempt to try and get one of these 150.
Right.
Many of these public service vehicle license holder either have access to a public service vehicle,
right,
have driven a public service vehicle at some point,
okay,
or are no longer driving a public service vehicle because they are working 9 to 5 but still hold the license.
Yes.
So let's just say figuratively, out of the active 600 taxis, the active 200 plus minibuses, the active about 70 or so limos, the 60 or so, 50 or so ATs, you have about
70 limos in the Bermuda? Really? Wow. I didn't realize that.
If you never noticed, many taxis have been converted over to limo, but again, we're going to put that on one side too.
Okay.
So now, let's say we have 1,000 active public service vehicle operators, maybe 1,500. We still have another pool of 1,500 people. So can you explain to me how fast can 150 new people enter the market and apply for something when 1,500 already have the license to apply?
Well, now that you mentioned,
there is no new people coming into the structure.
Right. Okay.
So the idea that government is touting that this is an opportunity for 150 new unlicensed people to get in the system is a fallacy. What's going to happen is people that are already minibus drivers, taxi drivers, bus, they're going to get the actual 150.
Now that's a very good point.
So
that's a very, very good point.
Who in reality are you changing or putting in place that will be different from who you say is the issue?
Maybe the people driving gypsy cabs. Got them off the damn streets.
Exactly. So in the reality, no matter what government is trying to say about opportunity and new people coming into the market, you are still going to have the same people servicing the market that's already servicing the market.
You know what?
You know what the problem is?
Yeah.
The enforcement hasn't happened for this group of people. So the enforcement is not going to happen.
Yeah. So you know what?
It's a complete PR scheme, and I can say this as a public relations person. I know what this is when people present you dreams, community, engagement, upliftment. All of that is to get you in the idea and the emotional position that this is a chance for you. And then when you get shut out the door, you turn around and turn your rage on the industry, not on the policymaker that told you could enter the industry falsely. Let's really start getting this narrative correct, Bermuda. When you start hearing politicians tell you about job improvement and opportunity and entrepreneurism, ask them, what are you doing with your business you earn? How many people are you hiring? Because the first problem we're getting at really and truly in Bermuda is too many false narratives, and Bermudians are gullible, unfortunately, and we are not fact-checking people. So it should be easily understood after this that if 150 people thought they was going to enter the public service vehicle industry and rent or get one of these permits, unfortunately, you're going to be beat to the punch by 1,500 people who already have a public service vehicle, who already service the industry, who already have access to a minibus, taxi, or other vehicle. So the government needs to stop with this lie. Please, Premier and Transport Minister, stop lying to the public. It is not correct.
Do you think lying is a strong word? It could be misrepresentation if they haven't kind of thought it completely through, and they have got in midstream and now have to change their stroke because they feel okay. Some of the things that we're hearing, it does make sense. So maybe we can fix it. So, for instance, you're talking about the people that already have the 1,500 licenses for public vehicles. So do you agree it would have been better for them just to say that on a first come, first served basis or some other criteria, those of you who would like to be more permanently involved over a 6-7 month period with a temporary permit, whether you own, if you don't own a taxi, that would be the caveat, but you have a license and you want to invest, here's what it's going to cost, and then now you've got employment in the industry, and you have to operate that cab yourself. So that will then eliminate by process certain individuals that have the licenses, because if they don't feel they're going to make the same amount of money in 7 months that they make for their permanent job that they already hold, they're still going to just hold their license and hustle, as opposed to invest in one of the temporary permits. So now if they don't get enough subscribed for those permits, they can then say, okay, those people who have the main taxi permits, you guys can now apply for a second permit because we don't have the applications or enough numbers where people feel that their investment is going to be worth it for them because they're already employed and they're making a lot more money than they feel they would make in the 7 months.
Yeah.
But
I mean, would that be something to discuss, to think about?
But it would have been great. It would have been great to have the discussion, but that's the thing about this current administration. We could see across multiple industries. There are no discussions. This is not the Bermuda that we know as community and collaborative, because there isn't any collaboration from the government to community or industry. And this is kind of making it why people have a strong disposition to their decisions, because instead of coming to the table, bringing their options, hearing the counter options and feedback, they do not do that.
So what you're saying, what you're saying, this again is another very, very strong. I won't call it an aspersion. I would call it an accusation that there has been no substantive consultation.
No.
Well, Mr. Blake,
We tried.
No.
We have tried.
That's not an accusation. That's facts.
Fact.
No.
The reason why we could state that as BTOA has been positioned as the Taxi Owners and Operators Association for well over 15, 20 years. BTOA has always been the point of voice for public media and others to reach out to for statement. So if people have to look and ask who represents the taxi industry, the most vocal voice and most positioned personnel would be the BTOA. So now, on top of that, when BTOA executives have met with transport ministers year after year after year and discussed policy and other things, why all of a sudden, once it comes to this particular minister and discussions are started, the opportunity to end this discussion or to create some chaos comes about, and the minister, instead of doing the politically correct thing and the adult thing to come back to the table and have discussions, they stonewall you. They refuse communications. They ignore formal letters. They ignore emails. They ignore calls. And then they send administrative staff and request them to send you an email and tell you that they will not communicate until you make public statement in favor of the minister. I'm not making an accusation, Mr. Blakeney. I am stating fact. And I can send documentation, which I have to the media, which will easily show that everything we state is documented proof, and we do not make accusations. We speak fact.
Fact.
So, again, we are making the exact statement that we made on every other media's outlet were being involved in this. The government and the minister has not had discussions with the most involved stakeholders who are going to be impacted the most, the taxi industry. They have not consulted us. And no matter which framework they would like to say they did, where are the formal feedback? Where are the meeting minutes? What actual stakeholders gave feedback? And we have documentation from other stakeholders to say that they did not meet with the transport minister anytime during 2025. They met with the previous transport minister in 2024 on rideshare. So again, when we could prove and show documented fact and have no issue to why is it so hard for government to show their documented fact? It could be easily stopped. They could prove us wrong by showing us every email of feedback from stakeholders and saying, hey, BTA said they would like to see this. The Bermuda Hotels Association said they would like to see this. The Insurance Corporation said they would like to see this. BLMLC said they would like to see this for cruise ports. Maya said that if they cannot do that, they have not met with stakeholders, and our statement holds true.
You got a very good public relations officer.
Hello. We have
We
the
cross our
best.
T's and dot our I's.
It's very, very important. And we're talking about holding everybody accountable, not the least of which would be yourselves. From where I sit, I'm just about being a conduit to asking questions, to legitimate concerns for answers that would be forthcoming, whatever those answers might be. I heard the premier, who I didn't think misrepresented based on me hearing what he said, given the context upon which he articulated what was being done by the government to help address the concerns in this community regarding public transportation, period.
And we have met with the stakeholders, each and every one of the stakeholders we've met with.
Okay. You want to take a couple of calls?
Sure.
Definitely we can.
I got my next guest is waiting, so got about another 5 minutes.
Okay.
Magic 102.7, good afternoon. You are on the air. Missed that one. Let's see. Next one. Magic 102.7, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Mr. Blakeney.
Good afternoon.
I'm really sad at what's going on in Bermuda right now. Former limousine driver, taxi driver, bus driver, etc. And what I'm hearing now seems like boardroom talk. Isaiah chapter 1:18, common letters reason together type situation that the taxi drivers are looking to have a meeting around the table instead of discussing in public. It's a shame what I'm hearing. Taxi drivers work very hard inland, picking up people, narrow roads, all kinds of names of homes, and you name it. I always pride the taxi driver what they do. And I pray that the government will take a little time out, sit down with the taxi owners and drivers and see if they can thrust these matters out instead of over the air. And I think you're doing a good job trying to get to the bottom of all the problems that they are encountering or have encountered. And I certainly wish them well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The airport pickups, hotel pickups, beach pickups, dockyard, the ship coming in, as they've mentioned already. all kinds of bottlenecks that they face from time to time. And I don't think it's too late, really.
No, it's never too late.
I don't think it's too late.
It's never too late. So thank you very much for your call.
And if that gentleman's a Broadbelt, I knew someone by the name of Broadbelt. In his genes is this person I know.
Yeah.
He's a no-nonsense person. But this lady,
yeah. I know.
no-nonsense person.
That's it.
It's a Bermuda hotel, I remember
That's
rightly.
it. You got it.
So he's doing a good job. I wish him well. For a young man, he's speaking facts.
Yes.
And just take a little time out, just withdraw a bit, just pause and see what they can do to make this situation better. For not only for the taxi owner, but Bermuda as a whole. And the visitors.
Yes, thank you.
God bless you all. Take care.
Thank you very much. Mr. Broadbelt, is Dimes Broadbelt related to you?
Well, Mr. Blake, now I try my best to make sure that I don't tout my family name too hard. But when I speak and people already go, I speak my mind like my family.
Yeah, I went to school with Ivan Broadbelt.
That's
Cool
That's
guy.
your uncle.
That's y'all. Oh my goodness me. All right, I'm got you. All right, Magic 102.7. Good afternoon. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Mr. Blakely.
Good afternoon.
So let me turn off my radio.
Please.
So, Mr. Blakely,
Don't ever turn off your radio when it's on Magic. Just turn it down. Go ahead.
is that better?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so Mr. Blakely, as a current taxi driver, I also can say that the prior executive to this executive actually not only gave a document with many problems, but we also gave them the solution. And for this government to be shoving this down our throats, not meeting with us, not even having a discussion with, coming to one of our meetings and having a discussion with all taxi drivers, very disrespectful. And if they're doing this to the taxi industry, what are they doing anywhere else? What are they doing everywhere else? And so I am hoping that they come back to the board, because there's a lot of loopholes in this particular law that is supposed to be now getting ready to pass through the Senate. And yes, the taxi drivers will be very much disadvantaged. The sole focus on the taxi drivers, there are other areas with government transportation that they're not even looking at. But the taxi drivers are always getting the short end of the stick. And I really don't think it is fair. So that's my 2 cents. And I appreciate everything that this current executive is doing. I appreciate everything that the past executives tried to do. I mean, Minister Furbett told this particular executive straight up, they were trying to get rid of the yellow emblem. Is this a star to them getting rid of the yellow emblem? And why do we, as the lady that's there said, why do we have to be part of all the world? Why can't we be different? I drive tourists every day. The tourists are disgusted with where Bermuda is going. They feel that we do not need a Lyft or Uber here in Bermuda because of what is done in other countries. Who is going to police this? If the current regulations are not being enforced now, who is going to police this? And yes, these new 150 drivers, and not to prolong this conversation because you have another guest, these 150 drivers, they're not going to be interested in doing what the gypsies do. They're going to be eating into what we do. Why? Because they're going to have access to the cruise ship port, the hotel, and the airport.
But that's with a caveat. But that's with a caveat. But hold on, that's with a caveat, though, right? Because what I'm understanding fundamentally is that the ride share will only be activated and kicked in once there is no answer to a call requesting a taxi.
That's what's
So
been
if-
said.
No,
but we
no,
know
no,
it's not
no.
going to happen. Because
If
enough
one
people.
given
No, no,
2
no, it
minutes
doesn't
to
work like
answer a
that.
call, and it goes over to the rideshare board, how long it stays on the rideshare board for them to take 5-10 minutes to answer? Is it coming back to the taxi board?
I would imagine
Never
so.
answered that question.
Okay, I never asked it either.
The minister said that
Because I don't know the industry like that.
Right.
But I can tell you, you know what this industry reminds me of? The pharmaceutical industry. I got a prescription to fix one thing, and all of a sudden the good is going out the window because I got to get something to
Right.
fix
Yep.
a side effect from that.
Yep.
So what's very important for the measure of accountability is to have engaged dialogue with honest brokers around the table of diplomatic protocol, having a full discussion. It doesn't make a difference how angry one side or the other side gets, as long as when you walk out the room, you have an understanding of where each stakeholder stands, and then you
Correct.
could look at the merit of what's being proposed and find where there is a compromise. When everybody walks out of the room and nobody's happy, then you got something that you can move forward with the view of looking to improve when you can, depending on what is exposed as an unintended consequence when you start implementing or you enact and start, executing on whatever has been
Yes.
agreed to mutually.
I'll give you 2 cases.
Mr. Blakely, I'd like to make one last statement.
Okay.
Okay, so I heard a minister on Friday night, a PLP minister on Friday night, state that we're going to need the 150 cars when Southampton Princess comes on. We're going to need the 150 cars for when Alba Beach comes on. Well, in this SDOs that have been issued, Southampton Princess are arranging their own transportation. So that cancels out the Texas right there and then, unless they're going to be part of that particular company that takes on that RSP. Okay? Alba Beach, the owners who are taking over Alba Beach, because they already own a hotel here, have already said that they will have their minibuses shuttling people between the two hotels. As a PLP government, this government is not thinking nothing of their people. They claim on their platform that they want to be doing more for their people. Well, show me.
Well,
Absolutely show me.
to be fair,
all of this,
yeah.
we got the Texas in a mess. We got the schools in a mess. We are in this island is going to hell in a handbasket. I'm sorry to say.
well, to be fair,
I'm going to wish you a blessed day,
okay.
and you take care.
Thank you, and you as well. Thank you for calling. Go ahead.
2 things I want to say about that round table.
Yeah.
I heard the minister say on another show, I don't know if I could name that show, but I'm not, right? I heard the minister say on another show that he sent a rep to one of our meetings. And that rep put out literature at one of our meetings. Did he state who that rep was? And how did that rep get that information out? No. Did that rep speak to the chair? Because I was the chair that night. Did that rep speak to the chair and ask permission? Can they put out that literature? No.
No, I'm confused. What do you mean the literature, and what is this relating to?
So
Go ahead, Randy.
So on one of our open house meetings for all public service vehicle operators, minibus, taxi, everybody, we open it up to everybody.
Okay.
It was to discuss what was the industry's points on rideshare.
Yeah.
We publicized this meeting. We put this meeting out on multiple outlets and channels on our website, on our social medias, and made it clear it was open for all public service vehicle operators
Okay.
to discuss rideshare. During our discussion, few minutes in, we had already started. Everything was going with proceedings. People were giving feedback. An individual walked into the meeting. 2 individuals walked into the meeting with documentation in hand. They were known as public service vehicle operators, so there was no quorum if they came in with documentation. And they proceeded, as they sat down in the audience, to pass those sheets and to tell people pass them on. It was only once executive members noticed that the commotion of paper being passed around, we asked, what is that? the document was brought forward. And once we started to read what the document was and who the document was from, we asked the person, who gave you the right or the permission to come in here and do that? When did you raise this to BTOA? When did you email in and say that you had information to share? When did you advise any of the officiants of this meeting that you had documentation to submit to it?
And this was a BTOA meeting.
Yes.
So
this was an
open meeting. So, but it was an open meeting organized by the BTOA.
That's right.
BTOA, and the persons conducting the meeting under Robert's rules, I would imagine, was a chairperson.
Yes.
So anyone coming into that meeting with any kind of literature, it should have went through by way of protocol the chairperson.
That's correct.
And then a decision would have been made by the organizers of the meeting if it was appropriate to distribute with among the people in the meeting.
Correct.
I get that.
And
I get that.
And Mr. Blakeney, and this is why it is important that gentlemen like yourself that understand process and procedures remain in government. Because when people come in and do not understand process and procedures, they cause tyranny. They cause chaos. And what that individual did was to put our meeting in disruption because it frustrated many members. It caused our meeting to be put on pause. So, for the factor that the minister, now these two individuals, I don't know their employment, but if they're not employed with government, why did they come here with government documentation? How did they know about government procedures and policies that were being pendingly drafted? How did they get documentation to come in a meeting and disperse it? Doesn't this break ministerial code of conduct and department code of conduct when documents of government are dispersed without actually being dispersed by official government officials?
That's a very good question.
So
it depends on the content of the document. And where it originated from.
And where it originated.
Yeah.
So we could state, because the minister already stated on the public media that he gave his family members the documentation to disperse at our meeting. Think about that. When a minister is using his family members and other officials and friends to disperse and to negotiate or to try and push an agenda for government. That is not what they are hired for. They are not elected people of the public. They are not personnel that have been given a contract by government as employment to do the government's business. So why were they given documents from a transport minister and walked into a meeting of public service operators to disperse governmental, if it was governmental issued documents, if it was originated from government computers or government printers, and if it was typed up on a government-owned computer, then it's still government content.
So when this occurred, subsequently, did the association, you guys, write to government or the minister with the concern as to what had been experienced?
At that point in time, our focus was our membership, and our membership's focus was rideshare.
I get that, but what about now? Because it's never too late to bring up a situation like that.
We discussed it. We discussed it with our lawyer, and our lawyer had advised, at this point in time, you keep your cards close to your chest and you wait for the minister to make that public if he decides. And since the minister did, now we are going to request and then put that in because he made it public.
Right.
As public service operators, we are not out here to attack our government officials. We are trying our best to actually keep them in place and work with them. But many of the things that we could say publicly will cause many of the public to question, do you truly trust the people you elect? So really think about this. When people you elect are going into meetings and using their narrative to try push an agenda in a meeting that they did not even have the decency to request to have involvement in. And if he is still if the minister is still a public service vehicle operator, he could have gladly walked into that meeting because he was a public service vehicle operator.
Well, I know when I was a member of government, I didn't operate like that. And in fairness, I'm going to, before I excuse you guys because I got my next guest, Number one, I just want to reflect because, hindsight is 20/20 at times. And I do know, and this is very encouraging to see the kind of representation and the way the concerns are being articulated, because there has not been any personal denigration. There has been expression of concern because of certain procedures that have not necessarily been according to how one would expect. And there has been the raising of concern because of a lack of process relative to inclusivity related to the stakeholders being consulted and joining, as a caller mentioned, into a conversation in the room where this didn't have to be public.
We could have been around the table.
The other thing is that, looking at the history again, this is not something that's just started. It's been a situation where it's been a challenge for many years under all different administrations as far as the taxi industry is concerned. Give credence to the government, even though it was maybe a lot longer than it should have been, but the taxi industry finally did get a raise. There was, back when the former Premier and Minister of Transport, the Honorable Ewart Brown, bent over backwards. I was a part of cabinet then to try and engage the taxi industry. There were so many different stakeholders that things always went in different tangents because there was one group that felt one way, another group felt another way, and there was no cohesiveness. And so he, as leader, based on his ministerial position, decided, here's what we're going to do. And that's around the whole GPS situation. He wanted the taxi industry to guide, but there was some for, some against. There was no cohesiveness. So there's been this kind of challenge, and you don't get anywhere in making improvements on any challenge. I don't like to say problem. I like to say challenge, when there is not engaging in a way where the sincerity or truth is not respected.
Right?
It might be sometimes very hard to swallow because you have a different position for your own reasons.
Yes.
But that shouldn't negate engaging stakeholders who are the end line providers of the service to the end line users of the service on such an important issue as transportation. This is not something that you can just dictate the terms.
Correct.
Right.
I didn't hear from the Premier where terms were being dictated. What I heard was that we were engaging, and out of what we felt was going to serve the best interests of the community, we came up with this solution. Now I'm hearing there was a lack of consultation, and there were other alternatives and options that you would have liked considered.
Correct.
Even if they weren't adapted, there would have been a reason why, and the government would have said, here's what we hear from you, we've studied it, we've considered it, and here's what we are prepared to do against what we're not prepared to do. Or we're going to unceremoniously dismiss it because it doesn't make sense on the direction we're going. And then hang their hat on that decision. Because at the end of 4 or 5 years, people's going to make a choice whether they're going to be rehired or fired. Now, the way I say, I always look to see where's the balance, and I cannot just indiscriminately say, as one of the callers would have referred, that the government hasn't done anything or inferred. That they may have not done some things as well as they could have. They may have not done some things as much as they should have. But they have done things that has improved in certain areas of what needs to be addressed. There's other areas where there's no outcome yet because they're works in progress. And in any society, and in any community, in any political context, no matter what you do, through policy or otherwise, there's always room for improvement. And that's where things continue to be fluid. And I would hope, notwithstanding, because it doesn't seem like you're unreasonable people. No. Like I've known some to be in the past.
They're shut down.
Right? You still seem as if you're open to dialogue, and at least having some level of a consultation regardless of what the government decides they're going to do. Nothing prevents them, in service to the people and the stakeholders in the society, for doing certain things as far as service is concerned, to have dialogue. So I would implore and encourage the government to at least have dialogue, and I'm sure they will.
Yes. Well, this is what we want.
After no consultation, when we went to the meeting, it was only myself and another person, right? Because everybody was working.
Okay.
We weren't getting no consultation. We didn't bother, to really do our schedules. Instead of getting down to the business of the day, he asked for a photo op. I said, it's only 2 hours. I'm not taking no pictures.
Okay.
I'm not going to take pictures to make it look like we're all nice and everybody's working together and stuff. We'll come here to do business.
Take the pictures after we come to an agreement.
Take the pictures after we come to an agreement.
Yeah, and when I have chance to put my makeup on.
And when I have chance to do my hair and makeup.
Come on now.
I distinctly said, no. This is not what we're here for. Let's get on with the work. The minister walked out.
Oh, really?
And as sure as I'm sitting there, and even prior, that was the meeting that we was going to sort out.
But he's a nice guy. He walked out. Come on now. Did he really?
I'm telling you, as sure as I'm sitting here,
Did he excuse himself or just walk?
Sir, he walked out because I refused to take the pictures.
That's it.
I was acting president that day. So I'm talking about what I knew. Nobody told me. You didn't tell me. I did.
And that's not casting aspersion. That's not throwing anybody really under the bus. That's just saying how you feel based on behavior that you experienced when you were invited to engage a meeting.
Right.
And the meeting didn't happen. So the meeting didn't happen.
We didn't get no business done. So we left disappointed.
Did you reschedule the meeting?
We tried.
We tried several times. We've sent email. We sent email on the meeting. We even get replies.
Okay, Mr. Broadbelt, I'm giving you the floor. This is the last comment. Yeah.
So, on this particular point,
and you can wrap up what you want to say as well.
So, for overall, from the industry's perspective, we have been constantly reaching out to engage with the previous public service vehicle board. The new one that's came in is a new board, so we're not addressing this to the new board, but the previous public service vehicle boards before February when this new one came in, we've sent multiple formal communications to have certain things addressed. We've sent multiple things to the transport minister and the director and the secretary of the department. Many of these formal all we're asking as the public service vehicle industry representatives is to, hey, engage. Please respond to our letters. Actually return some of our calls and emails and say, hey, we could make a meeting, we could discuss this, because at the end of the day, as sometimes frustrated as we may seem in the industry, we all know that we are serving Bermuda. We all know that we have an obligation to serve this island, this country. And when we are not engaged and not contacted or not communicated with, you are making our job difficult to serve the public because we are not in the loop. So when people know more information because they have discussions with government officials, then when we get to try to engage you, it makes the industry look like we are not engaged or prepared, and that is giving a full sense of involvement to the public, when in reality, the industry knows we are not being engaged. So we have written it, we have emailed it, we have formally queried it to you, and we are doing it again as we even went to the governor, the House of Parliament, the Senate, and both parties. We are asking, and again, all stakeholders, BTA, BHA, all of these stakeholders that the minister has been using and stating, we have emailed all of them down to the insurance companies and the international business community. We would like to have a roundtable, including police and every part of this banner. We would like a roundtable discussion to truly discuss the transport issues of Bermuda and address them one by one with the laws that are on the books and start finding ways for us to work together. We do not like doing this public engagement and making it seem as if it's contention. It's not. We are just frustrated that we are not getting engagement, and we are asking you to return to the table, please.
Well, that was Mr. Randy Broadbelt, the public relations officer and IT official that took a crash course in 5 minutes and got something halfway working, but the one thing that was working quite well was his brain, his mind, his passion, his heart, and his ability to articulate in a very, very consummate way. I thank you, sir, for bringing some clarity to the concerns of your organization as the public relations officer, and of course, supporting the president of the Bermuda Taxi Owners and Operators Association, Mr. Ricky Tucker, and the Vice President, Carolyn Smith. I thank you all very much
Thank you, sir, for
bringing some light in the sunshine of public scrutiny to this particular challenge, which is fluid. Notwithstanding, there is legislation about to be passed. It still doesn't prevent dialogue going on, because in legislative processes, amendments can be made.
Yes.
And so there you go. I glory in your spirit of advocacy, because with people like you, I think that the industry could only do better in concert with the government of Bermuda in formulating policy where there's a win for the public, a win for the organization, a win for the government, a win for the country. So again, thank you very much, and God bless you guys.
Thank
you, sir.
you.
Bless you too.
Blessings.
Bermuda Live on YouTube. Subscribe now.